You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz for great radio. Get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to round two. You're listening to the Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. And my name is Dylan Lyles, and I'm joined tonight by my dear friend, Jonathan Dunn. Hello, Johnny boy. Welcome back.
You're fired.
I had a feeling that was not going to go over well.
You don't call me Johnny boy. I'm serious.
You're lucky I didn't start singing. Could have traded it in for Danny Boy. I could have changed it to Johnny Boy. Oh, Johnny boy.
Johnny boy.
The pipes are
calling to you.
It's you. Okay.
Yes, and we can all see why we're on radio talking and not on a singing career.
Really. That, and if y'all could see us tonight, you'd see why we don't do TV.
Speak for yourself.
I've got a face for radio for sure. It's
Speak for yourself.
I am.
Glenn Beck hired me for my sexiness. He hired me and Jeff Fisher for the exact same reason, to bring the sex appeal to the Blaze, baby.
Right. Okay.
That's true. It's written in our contract.
Hey. And far be it from me to argue.
You can tweet Glenn Beck. Go tweet Glenn Beck and ask him right now. Did you hire John and Jeff Fisher for bring sexiness to the Blaze?
Y'all bringing sexy back? Is that what that was?
Mm-hmm. And I'll just have in a world where we believe in fact checking the media, Jeff Fisher is 100% right. Once you go fat, you never go back. No,
you're absolutely right on that. I'm living proof of that. I've gone
so
fat and I still haven't gone back. It's.
Is that what he meant when he said that?
That's what I mean by it. I don't know what he meant, but that's where I'm going with it. I've been trying, and I can't get away from it, man. It's everywhere. Folks, we got an awesome show for you planned right now this evening. Oh, good times. We're gonna start off with a wonderful article that unfortunately I seriously had to read. I had to read this like 2 or 3 times just to make sure that I was completely understanding it and I wasn't missing anything, because it just didn't. Something about it just didn't. I was like, this couldn't be real. Can't be real. But apparently it is. Apparently, the father of a now former UCLA basketball star, LeVar Ball, is the father's name. Apparently his son, Lonzo Ball, was a point guard for UCLA, which is now beheaded for the draft that's coming up. Apparently, said that the reason why UCLA won or lost the national championship was because the white starters for the squad that season were too slow. The quote is, realistically, you cannot win. You can't win no championship with 3 white guys because their foot speed is too slow. Quote, unquote, end quote. That was LeVar Ball, who told the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin, because everyone reads the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin.
Never miss it.
Never, I don't either. And you know what? I hate the weekend because then I don't get to read the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin. I mean, it's...
You mean you don't get the top secret Indiana Valley Weekend Bulletin?
No. What?
I know.
No.
Did I not tell you that? Or maybe you're not. Maybe you're not in the approved club.
Maybe I
might have broken a state secret.
What's the first rule of Fight Club? You don't talk about Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you broke the first rule of...
We can edit that out, right?
We can absolutely. Give me... Don't worry about it.
This isn't like live radio or anything, right?
No. Live radio. This guy over here. This is why you're the boss.
It's like, this isn't on the cyber, is it?
No, don't worry.
Good.
Don't worry. This is probably, and even if it was, I mean, don't worry. There's probably like 3 people listening, and one of them's my mother, and she doesn't watch basketball, so we're good. She did.
I don't worry about the basketball point. I worry about is she a subscriber to the Indiana Valley Daily or Weekend Bulletin? So
no, she's part of the Daily, the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin, but she's not part of the Indiana Valley Weekend Bulletin. Again, see, because I got my daily subscription through her.
You inherited it?
No. Actually, what had happened was it was a Christmas gift, because you know how you can buy a subscription for another person, and that's what she did for me. And that's how I found out about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I was looking forward to socks and underwear, and instead I got a subscription to the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin, and have been. It was the greatest gift my mother ever gave me. I to this, I love you, Mom. Thank you.
Is she still on your Christmas card list?
She still is. Yeah. God bless her. She put up with my crap.
I hope she understands the pressure she's under, because it's like, what do you give someone the Christmas after you give someone a subscription to the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin? Like, how do you top that? Like, that's just...
The only thing after that is,
it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I know. There's the closest thing you get after that is like a lifetime's, free colonoscopies or something. That's about it. I mean, there's not a lot you can get taken care of beyond that, free lifetime tapioca. I don't know. I don't know. This story, folks, it kills me that we are actually living in a day and age where the double standard is so massive that it is unreal. We're going to play a game. John, play along with me, because I like to play games. Yay, fun games.
Is this my Christmas present come early?
Play along with It might not be, because we both may be fired by the time this is over with. Okay, I'm going to play a game. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you again this fine gentleman's quote. Exactly. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to read it to you again, and I'm going to change something. I'm going to change a single word in there. And I want you to tell me if the first one is right and the second one, if they're both on the same level, or if one's wrong. Okay? You want it ready? Okay. And this is
just be careful.
Oh, no. I promise you, I know how to be good. Okay, so quote, realistically, you can't win no championship with 3 white guys because the foot speed is too low, end quote. Okay? That's the first one. Now, I'm going to change this up. Change one word. And you tell me if under a different circumstances, things would be... Okay, ready? Quote, realistically, you can't win no championships with 3 black guys because the foot speed is too slow, end quote.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question to you, which one would get you in more trouble? Number 1 or number 2?
Can I phone a friend?
Sure.
Who can I phone?
Sure.
Let's phone Chris, our boss.
Oh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Chris, what's the answer to this question? They're both the same? You sure? Doesn't seem right, like in 2017. Okay, he says go both the same.
I'm sorry, the answer to that is blue. Sorry. And non-gender conforming. So you're both wrong, but thank you for playing our game. No.
Did I win free government cheese?
You got no. Have you ever no? See, you're in Ireland. Just sidebar. See, you need to stop that. Sidebars are not good with me. You've never had good old-fashioned American government cheese.
No, and I never want to have good old-fashioned American cheese.
I'm going to tell you now, when I was younger and didn't know no better, it tasted so good. It was so good. And now that you get older, it just tastes like socialism and pain. But anyway.
Yeah, let's put this into context. You probably, as a kid, were one of those kids, kind of like me, who went and got the hose pipe and drank water from the hose pipe when you were thirsty.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So the context matters, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly, it does. Those are the days when you got your ass whipped for doing something wrong and nobody cared.
Mm-hmm. Those are the good old days. They don't come back.
They don't come back, man. No, the correct answer obviously was, you could never say, I could never come out and say that exact quote and say about black guys. And that's the double standard. And it's everywhere. It is everywhere, this double standard. And it drives me insane.
What drives me insane even more is the labels.
Ugh.
Can we remove just the labels of black or white or anybody? If someone's too slow, if you're, I'll make it about me, right? If I'm on your basketball team and you see me, I'm not like a tiny player. It's obvious I'm not fleet of foot. I'm not fleet of foot because I'm fat and because I used to bodybuild. It's nothing to do with my whiteness. You could look like me and be black. You could be orange. You could be the color of the rainbow. It's nothing to do with my gender. And it's just so frustrating that
was actually race. That wasn't gender, by the way.
Sorry, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. I was identifying as a female or whatever the legal terms are in this crazy world we live in.
Either way, it's just as confusing. No, but you're right. But see, this is the thing that just kind of dawned on me here. Is we're in the age of you can't be stereotypical. Because being stereotypical or calling out someone in a stereotypical way is racism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically he's stereotyping not just the white people, but black people as being fast runners.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that right? And that, again, goes back to the double standard.
Do you remember... so because it's on the same sport, like I've seen people fired for less. Do you remember, I can't remember the porter, but I remember he played for the Knicks at the time, Jeremy Lin, the ESPN reporter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, chink in the armor.
Chink in the armor. It's so stupid. There's just some of these things that come out, and those are that situation with like that ESPN reporter. Those are the things that bother me the most, because it's bad enough that someone's going to call you out and try and make you feel like crap for saying something like that, or for that situation. But the fact that you're going to actually go so far as to lose your job over it,
mm-hmm.
That is a level of asininity that I've never experienced before in my life. And there's
you're still using that word?
I found out that's an actual word. Huh.
Oh, damn, you didn't recreate it? I was hoping that was going to be a claim to fame.
I thought so, too.
Because I really like that word. It's a really good word.
I know. I do, too. I actually had turned around, and it was my mom that helped me realize it was a real word. She had sent me...
Can you spell it?
Hold on. Because it took me forever to realize I was spelling asinine wrong. ASNINITY. Asinity. I think that's right. Anyway... No, she had sent me that thing, and for some reason I was like, let me just Google it. So I Googled asinine, and in the definition it has asinine and explains what it is, and then turned around and underneath that it said asininity, and I was like, boom! And then I realized that I had just discovered a word that already existed, so it was no longer exciting.
I know. I saw I saw Miley Cyrus and twerking in your future.
Oh.
So
wait a minute. Me twerking or Miley Cyrus twerking?
Didn't she create that word? I'm old fashioned. I have no idea.
I don't know. I know that
was added to the Oxford Dictionary recently because
because that's what we need in the dictionary is
exactly
twerking.
Twerking. It's an official word now.
Now my world is complete.
When you're having all those Scrabble dates with your wife and your friends, at least you put twerking on the board.
If it's not in Words with Friends, it's not a real word.
I think that's the only I think that's the only reason we put words in the Oxford Dictionary anymore, just so people who play Scrabble or still play Scrabble or Word Feud, it's what it's called now, to so they can increase their score.
Really, it's a word.
But getting back to your buddy, did you see what he said afterwards?
Which part? Oh, you mean did he? Is this another quote that he had in the Indiana Valley Daily Bulletin because
No, because it's hard. Like, in fairness, you do have to give this guy credit because after getting in the Indiana Daily Weekly whatever bulletin he was in, I can't remember.
hold on, don't insult the Indiana or the
I'm
Indian
not.
Valley.
I'm a fan.
I kept
I'm a
calling it
subscriber.
Indiana. I'm sorry. It was I was making sure you were paying attention. You weren't. It's the Indian Valley Daily Bulletin.
Oh, it's the Indian Valley.
Indian. There's no A at the end of it. I was saying if you were paying attention, you really are not a loyal reader.
Oh, you see, I get both.
Oh. Fair enough. Continue.
But he, after going to and giving this wonderful interview, he then went to, he had to slum it a bit. He had to go to ESPN.
Oh, talk about a step down.
I know, yeah. Like, it's when you get to the Indiana or the Indy, because they're both on the same level for me. The Indiana and the Indian Valley Daily Bulletin. They're both, they're both like
both
top.
there. I mean, that's
you
made it big, baby. If you get there, that's
absolutely.
it's like
I haven't been on it.
Well, no, I haven't either.
I aspire to be on that.
To make it to the Indian Valley Daily Bulletin is like one step under being canonized.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it was one step above being canonized.
No. Because it's Indian Valley Daily Bulletin, then you get canonized. Boom.
Okay.
And after that, and then it goes on to actual, right hand of God kind of stuff, and that's way up there. So.
Oh, okay. But he had to slum it in ESPN, and he tried to walk his comments back, and he said, and I quote, "I'm not saying I don't like the white guys, and we lost because of them. No, that's how they twisted it all up."
Wait a minute. So
I don't like the white guys.
Yeah, so realistically, you can't win no championships with three white guys because their foot speed is too slow. Yeah, that's twisted up. That's twisted.
And I'm not saying I don't like them.
I'm not
I like
saying
them,
I
but
don't
just
like
they're slow. Plenty of people like me, but I'm still fast.
Exactly. These people. Double standard drives me insane, man. It does. Oh,
it makes me miss the good old days, and which we'll talk about later on. But it makes me miss the old days of when we used to just treat everyone like people. Those were the good old days.
Heck yeah, man. Well, we're gonna tap back into those good old days here in a minute. We're gonna take a break. And reminisce a little bit, folks. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. My name is Dylan. And over there, co-hosting with me on the other side of that chair is Jonathan Dunn.
Hi.
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 How you doing?
I'm doing good, baby. How you doing?
Yeah, don't ever call me baby. You don't put baby in a corner. I don't know why that made me think of that. Sorry, I had a 80s flashback moment. It's that nostalgia we were talking about earlier. Old days,
I miss those days.
I miss the old days.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all didn't catch that, we went on a slight sidebar last hour, talking about I was watching the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters cartoon on Netflix. I love Netflix, man. I'm starting. There was a point where I was like, it's Netflix, whatever. They're starting to bring back all the old stuff from like our childhood, man. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. And then I get to introduce it to my kids who, at least then I can turn around and feel that they're getting something a little bit more, I don't know, beneficial than just the crap that's out there nowadays. Because
we had a blast, before we get on to our next subject. We really had a blast when it came to TV. Even just on the cartoons, Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, Roadrunner, Animaniacs. Yeah, we had all that stuff. You look at some of the trash kids watch today, SpongeBob SquarePants.
And that one,
Barney.
Don't say, we don't, look, the B word is not allowed on my show. Do not ever.
Barney? Barney?
You're about to be fired. I can control the mute button over here. I'll run this solo.
Did you just mute me? Knee? Did you stop muting me? Seriously, you don't mute.
You realize I'm going to be a jerk here in a second, actually hit mute and let you just keep talking, and then you're just going to be, it's never going to be heard. And you're going to listen back and go, wait a second, you really did mute me. And I'll be like, I'll show you.
Yeah, but we really had a mess. We really had a blast when we were kids watching all this stuff.
We did. Man, there's some... And like I said, I've had fun introducing my kids to it because it's a step back for nostalgia for me. And then two, it's like I said, it's that I know that they're watching something that has an actual moral and there's a moral at the end of the story. There's a lesson to be learned. It's not just, hey, we're watching something stupid for entertainment value. And it's like I got tickled when I introduced my kids to the original not Transformers, the original Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
And you see, they brought, and this is not very interesting for anyone, but I just found this interesting. I admit I was a big fan when I was a kid. I was young, I was impressionable. But they're bringing back Power Rangers. They brought a movie.
Yeah, I know. I
watched the Power Rangers as a kid. I remember.
I did too. I didn't actually. That was a lie. When I was growing up, we didn't watch a lot of TV during the day. And I'm old enough now that I'm and my mother
Saturday morning though.
Oh well, no, Saturday morning for us. By the time we got up and were able to turn on TV, it was usually like Looney Tunes and the Winnie the Pooh adventure series or whatever. We got to watch one of those.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Yeah, the Power Rangers for me came on in the afternoon, and we were not allowed to watch TV during the day. So what we would do, and I can say this because my mother, I'm too old for my mother to catch me, and I live 800 miles away from her, so I can do this now and make this confession live on air because she's going to hear it. But we used to wait until like she was asleep and taking a nap or something in mid-afternoon because I was homeschooled. So we would actually wait until, she would take a nap, and we knew that she was asleep. And we would ever so quietly, ever so secretively, we would turn the TV on and leave the volume down really low. And that's how I watched the Power Rangers. So to this day, the only reason... Oh, yeah. We used to sneak watch the TV all the time, and I'm waiting. I'm looking at my phone because I have a feeling if my mom is not listening to this live, she's going to be texting me here in a minute, and it's going to. I'm going to be in trouble, but I don't care.
You're going to get grounded, boy.
I know, right? But I'm with you. Like I introduced my kids to the original Power Rangers, and they're like I said, they love that stuff. They've watched all the way up through all of them, and I'm pretty much going to get roped into taking them to. I'm going to be stuck taking him to the new one on the new movie when it comes out. So
I'm just waiting for them to bring Star Trek back.
Aren't they due to make another one? Like seriously?
I have to eventually. No, I mean the series, not the movies. But
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that because they've already started them in the movies. I'm starting to notice there's a pattern. If they make it as a TV show, it'll suck if they try to make it into a movie. And if they take the movie now and try to make it into a series, it'll fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think. Like, I'm really worried about the whole, this is so not even close to where we were going to talk about, but since we're already here, might as well roll with it. The movie, The Justice League. They're coming out with that, right?
Okay.
I did. Yeah, they're doing a Justice League movie. Well,
Okay.
one of the guys that they're going to be pulling from that, obviously, is The Flash, who has a show on TV. I don't know how well that's going to fly, because the TV show is going to be great. But lately, DC's movies have been horrific. You know, I don't know if you've seen that atrocity that they called Batman versus Superman.
I don't want to go see that movie. I'm opposed to that movie. I don't like the message that sends. I'm sorry. I'm a traditionalist.
No, and I'm
you
with
don't
you.
have two good guys fighting each other.
Well, there was based off of comics and everything else, and I look back, I was like that too. And then apparently in the comics, there was always this underlining thing where Bruce Wayne had it out against Superman. But anyway,
yeah, but I just
the story was
I don't
horrible.
care about the comics. Just sends a message.
No, you're right.
To culture. It's the world we live in that, you know, good guys will even take on good guys. And I know I'm an old-fashioned, and I know I'm a boring old fart, and you can tweet me at Freedom Disciple anytime you want and tell me it. I'll love you still. But I gotta say, you know, on a serious note, on the Netflix stuff, the Netflix stuff is so good. Like, you see the quality. I don't know if you've watched it. Have you watched Gotham?
Yes.
All the TV on Netflix is amazing. Like, Gotham is amazing.
Yeah, but that's not done by Netflix.
Oh, I know, but it's on it.
Oh, yeah.
All
No,
the
that's
modern
good.
stuff. Yeah, even what was it, Daredevil?
Daredevil was good.
Is
I've started watching
amazing.
Iron Fist. Have you seen that yet?
No.
Oh, I've started watching that. I will admit, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you're racist." No, I haven't gotten to it yet. I started watching.
Oh, that's with Luke Cage, is it?
I haven't. No, Luke Cage is the other one. I haven't started watching that one yet, and that's the one people are going to probably be like, "Oh, I'm a racist for," because that's the black guy, and I haven't watched the black guy yet. No, I haven't finished Daredevil. If that makes you feel any better, people. Starting crap.
Daredevil is really good.
It is good. I know. I made it through I watched the entire first season, and I'm not quite halfway through the second season. And just something happened, and I got lost, and I fell behind and hadn't watched any of it. And then Luke Cage come out, and I'm like, well, I need to get onto that one, but I need to finish Daredevil. And then Iron Fist come out, and I've been waiting for Iron Fist for a long time because he was one of my, B-class favorite superheroes. So I was like, well, and I started watching that, and I've kind of gotten sucked into that when I watch TV. That's when I have a chance, though. I don't, and I mean to really sit down and watch TV. If I'm not prepping for this show, if I get to watch TV, I'm laying in bed with the iPad and I'm falling asleep to Mystery Science Theater 3000. That's what I'm falling asleep, just because that's what I do, is watch movies and poke fun at it and fall asleep.
Well, what I do is, and I know people say, well, this is not what you're supposed to do, is I just block out a weekend and I watch it and I work away and I watch it and I watch like the first season of something. And the
good
stuff
old binge
is,
watching.
I just can't. I just don't have the attention span. Honestly, the thing that annoys me about traditional TV and I can't watch it these days is the whole, you have to remember, like, so you watch an episode and then you got to wait a week, and I spend the first 20 minutes of the show going, why is she talking to him, or why are they not talking?
Trying to remember last week. Yep.
Yeah, and there's just too much stuff in my brain, so I binge watch stuff, and it's just so much better, and it's get the continuity into it. But there's so much other good stuff on, like, Netflix has changed the world. To make a serious point about the world we live in, like, we really are living in an era where technology is just wonderful. You look at, like, stuff like House of Cards.
Oh, yeah, that was another show that I got into and haven't finished.
It's wonderful. I would recommend to anyone watch House of Cards. And then like things like the Breaking Bad spin-off. Oh, what's it called? Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, yeah.
That's really good. And you see the quality, and you see all the documentaries there that are Netflix made. Mm-hmm. It's really, you see the difference in the quality, and it's just so, you're paying for what you want to watch, and giving the power to the consumer. Like, you pay, I think I don't know what it is in dollars, but I'm guessing it's about $10 a subscription for a month.
Yeah, it's
based
like
on exchange rate.
$9 or $10, yeah.
Yeah, $9 or $10. You can do it like what I do, like spend, if you have $10 free, spend it for the month and kind of go, okay, this month I'm actually quiet, I'm going to binge watch. Actually, I might do that this weekend.
There you go.
Binge watch something and then buy it for the month. and then not buy, like, don't continue your subscription, and then, you know what, and, you know, do your stuff when life gets busy, and then in 2 months buy it for another 1 month. You know, none of this, oh, you have a 12 or an 18 or 24-month contract and you got to pay 50, $60 for TV. It's there. It's you can get it. And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, that's what me and that's what we do in my house. Like, we've completely gotten rid of. We don't have cable. We don't even have local channels. So I don't even, you know, our news we get through the phones and we get through everything. That's how we get everything else. Our TV consists of we have Netflix and Hulu, and Amazon Prime. Okay. The Amazon Prime I don't count because there's not really a lot on there that I like, and it's not already on either Netflix or Hulu. But Netflix is to do most of the movies and the older, you know, TV shows. They do have some of the newer stuff like we were just talking about, but most of that one up until recently has been, you know, it was the older movies and older shows. That's what we would watch it for. And then we would have Hulu, which, if anybody doesn't know what Hulu has, it'll do the major networks, the major TV shows on, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS, all those, but you can watch it like the next day. And we're talking stuff to, like, you can watch award shows that air and things of that nature. And so that's what we do. Between those two, we pay, I think, $20 total. $20 a month to have virtually in the same amount of TV that anybody can get with the highest level of cable. And we can watch virtually anything, virtually anywhere, at any given point of the day, when we're ready. For $20, you can't beat it. I'm sorry, that is capitalism at its finest. At its absolute finest. And it's just, and a lot of people I know are starting to go that way. A lot of people are giving up the cable. A lot of people are giving up, you know, the box and going to stuff like this because it's more tailored to fit their needs. They can, like you said, you could pay $10 a month even just for Netflix and have more TV than, you know, anybody has. Yeah. And it's just so awesome what.
And like, even just, you know, even on the sports side of it, you know, one of the things I buy every year is, because I'm a huge fan, is baseball. And it's like $130. And I get every game, everywhere I want. Mm-hmm. And it's free of charge. And like, it's so wonderful now. Like, you get to choose which commentary you want. So like, if the Yankees are playing the Dodgers, and I want to, now this is obviously not up this year, but, you know, like, if the Yankees are playing the Dodgers before this year, and you said, you know what, I don't want to listen to, the Yankees side. I want to go listen to Vin Scully because he's Vin Scully. You have that choice. You just press a button and boom, it changes over. And just technology is just so wonderful. Oh yeah. And it really is empowering you. And even other stuff. You know, like, I remember, like, I don't know if have you told your kids about how you used to watch TV? Do you remember, like, I don't know what you had, but we had like 6 channels.
Oh yeah, no, back
and, like, no remote control.
I remember
you get up and twist the knob.
No, I haven't told them that part yet. I haven't but I was having this conversation with the guys at work, and we were reminiscing about that back in the unless you had cable, we had the 3 channels. You know, ABC, CBS, NBC, and then turn around.
We had 6.
Yeah.
So the socialist Ireland had more than the capitalist America.
Yes. Isn't it?
And then did you all have the whole, you know, you're closer rule?
No.
So whoever was closer had to get up and change?
Actually, I was the oldest of 8 kids, so it was whoever was literally the first person that they, you know, my parent, whichever name my parent could pick out first out of the 8 of us, that's who got up and did it. And oh yeah, you had to turn it by hand to turn it up or turn it down. I swear it sounded like a gunshot every time you turned the TV on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No matter how quiet you tried to be, it was just this loud pop. And oh yeah, and then the only time you thought you hit the high life was when you had a VCR that had a remote that you could turn around and wire, obviously, to the TV, and then you could change the channel through the VCR. Then you knew you made it. You still had to get up, turn it on and off, and raise the volume. But at least, you know, it was a little bit different than having to go the other route, man.
Those days don't come back.
They really come back.
You know. And do you know what's funny? Because I was off sick a couple of weeks ago. I think it was maybe a month ago. And just I had a day where, I had the man flu. And like we had 6 stations growing up, but we never had an issue. When I was sick for the day, I just literally sat in the chair, and I said this to my mother. I was like, I was so sick today. I just sat in the chair, could not move, could not function, could not think. And I watched nothing. There was nothing on. It was like reruns of Dr. Phil and Oprah and just stuff that just make your eyes bleed.
Ugh.
And I did see one thing though, which I know we got to finish up. I did actually catch today. I caught about 5 minutes of The Simpsons.
Oh,
Bart is still the same size when I watched him, and I'm like watching him 20 years.
Oh, I know.
It's like, dude, you have to grow.
Yeah, it's been 30 years. It's been over 30 years since that show's come out, and yeah, he hasn't aged or grown at all. And apparently the 30 years he's been on the TV once or twice a week, apparently they're still doing every life. Every day, every single episode is a single day, apparently. Oh.
Is that what it is? Is that the excuse? Because like Maggie's still like sucking a Adobe.
I know.
It's like, have you not graduated? Should we call CPS?
I don't know. I've thought about that too. It's bless their hearts, man. Folks, we're going to take a break and come back. Good times. We're listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network.
You're listening to the Lanterns Radio Network. We are the network dedicated to empowering the individual, illuminating the truth, defending American exceptionalism, and inspiring future generations. Stay connected and get involved at lanterns.buzz. For great radio, get commentary and news of the day. Lanterns.buzz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. You are listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. My name is Dylan, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the great, the man, the legend, Johnathon Dunn.
Who?
That's
Who? Who's the legend? Where?
I just said Johnathon Dunn.
Oh,
you can't. You couldn't escape that. See, the problem was your delay. And you delayed it too soon. Sorry.
I'm a legend.
You
Wow.
are. You were the Irish legend.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's you're the guy who's handing out Irish candy at CPAC and getting strange looks from Ted Cruz.
And he said no to me.
He did turn you down too.
He still said to me.
That's how you're supposed to act. Stranger offers you candy, you say no. You're lucky he didn't run up and down the hallway yelling stranger danger.
I told him Glenn Beck was my boss, and he still said no.
Yeah, I don't think that helped your case any. I know him and them two are pretty much good friends, but I don't think that helps your case in normal situations. You can't just keep throwing out Glenn Beck. That might be more of a deterrent and not quite a help.
I know, but like it was.
I know you're.
I was trying to give him a nice gift, like all Glenn gave him was some compass, which has no significance in the history of the world and wasn't owned by someone who was totally really cool and, doesn't have a fingerprint in it that I have actually felt. And it is there. It's not like that was there or anything. So I had to give him a decent gift from the place. So I decided I'd give him some Irish candy, and he said no.
He told you.
He dead to me.
No.
He's dead to me.
He told you.
I think
he thought that if he accepted your candy, then the next thing he would have been found.
He might look like me.
He was. If anybody hasn't seen the picture, he was kind of like talking to you and patting his little tum-tum. And so I'm thinking he thought he was going to be, I don't know, rotund or something from a single piece of candy. I
think he was looking at me going, if that's what you want, boy, I think I need to avoid it.
Irish candy? No, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. But it was fun, man. CPAC, dude, I'm telling you, sidebar again real fast. I am so looking forward to CPAC. this year. I know you're not. We're not. We're going to do another 27 hours worth of radio, right?
Not me.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
No.
You keep saying that. I'm telling you.
I don't think I'll be there.
You'll be there. One way or another, you're going to be there.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not pushed.
Yeah, you will.
I have no interest in going to a glorified fest of one person.
No, you're right. And
if they want to talk principles, I'll go, and I'm willing to speak, but I'm no interest.
I'm gonna throw this out at you, and this is the way you have to really honestly think about this. Let's be fair, with the exception, arguably, but with the exception of the Blaze, I really cannot think of another principled media company. Can you? Besides Lanterns, like seriously, and I mean this seriously. This is not just.
You're including Lanterns in that?
Yeah, I mean between there's Lanterns and then there's Blaze. Like seriously, I can't think of anybody else. At least it has the attempt.
There's one more, and it's one more big one.
Okay,
CRTV.
Oh yeah, all right, you're right. But that's newer. But yeah, CRTV. Okay, so there's Lanterns, there's CRTV, and the Blaze. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot when you count Breitbart, when you count Fox, NBC, MSNBC, CNBC, all the alphabet soups that there is. Okay, I would argue that to not go and to not show up and to not be part of the light of actual principle is actually doing him more of a disservice. It's much better to stand and die on principle than it is to turn around and go, well, no one's going to listen anyway. Why waste my time?
I just don't think CPAC's the place, because it's not only that...
It probably isn't. It probably isn't.
I'm not saying Lanterns should. I think Lanterns should go. It just will be...
I'm going with or
Irish
without
John.
you. Just so you know. I'm going with or without you.
Good for you.
I'm just
you
saying,
let me know how that goes. You send me a postcard, all right?
Oh, I will. I will. Matter of fact, I think what I will do is I will do the famous lives, the Facebook lives like you were doing, just because since you're not going to be there.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I might be there. We'll see. We'll see. You know, Matt Schlapp might call me and go, "Hey, you know, we actually want some principles in 2018. Would you like to speak?" And if they did, I would go.
I wonder if Matt Schlapp would be more inclined if he had a brown envelope show up at his desk.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I don't pay to speak. So
no, I'm not talking about. No, I'm talking about bribing him, not paying you.
I know I don't bribe people to speak.
I didn't say you would. It doesn't count if you're bribing him. I'm talking, John.
Oh, we need 3 degrees of separation. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's called plausible deniability, John. You don't say it. You don't bring that out.
No. It's okay.
All right. Well, fine then.
Can we do some more reminiscing? Because I'm really enjoying this.
Reminiscing? Let's.
Yeah. Remember when men were men and people actually had a sense of humor and didn't hear something and freak out at every time they heard something they didn't like?
When you say a man, when you say a man, are we talking about the man? I think we're thinking the same person.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you haven't heard, you know, we actually did lose a legend this week. Wait,
we're not talking about the same person. I was talking about Vladimir Putin, but if you want to talk, you know, that's a man. You see him, that picture of him on that horse?
Oh, you want to go there?
Did you see? Okay, you see that picture of him on that horse? That's a man. I'm sorry, but
you see him go get with the bear.
That the bear too. See, I thought we were talking about him. That's the man.
Oh, okay. Did you see him doing his Alex Jones impression, where like he's shirtless and just in his trousers, you know, in freezing cold weather, you know But, you know, he's a bit skinny to be doing Alex Jones.
He's mentally unstable. That's why him and Alex Jones get along really well.
Oh, do they?
2 peas in a pod.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Because Alex Jones actually likes Putin now, because supposedly the rumor is that Trump likes Putin. So, and then it's going to change here in about 20 minutes. So, get in while you can.
Okay. It's up for change, is it?
It's always up for change. Everything's fluid nowadays. 2017. That's if if a year could have a slogan, 2017 would be the year of fluidity.
You see, I thought because we were reminiscing. You see, I know it says 2017 on my calendar and stuff, but my head was back in the 1980s because we were talking about TVs and good old fashioned days and 6 channels and turning knobs. Yeah.
One more thing to throw out there. Oh, did you have this? And this is I know where you're going, and we're going to go there in a second. But I just thought of something, and I want to ask this because you're in Ireland, so it's a little bit different. Growing up in Ireland, did y'all have cable? Or was it all one thing? Okay, the States we had cable, so you got locally for free. You got the 3 channels, okay?
Yeah.
And then if you got wealthy, you got cable or you got satellite. And the thing with satellite was this giant eyesore of a dish.
Oh, we had that later on, but that's way after the time.
Did you?
That's more like. That's like late 90s.
Yeah,
they were
no.
nightmares.
Yeah, no.
We literally had 6 stations, and we only had 2 which were Irish. We had 2 Irish stations and 4 UK stations.
Wow.
And yeah, so
the reason I bring that up is we were going to church one day and happened to pass one that was still in a yard of this old house, and my son asked me what that was, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I'm having to explain this to you."
See, son.
It's like there was a day when you only had to get 6 channels to watch stuff. He's like, "You mean you didn't just pick something?" I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah, you just didn't watch it on your iPad.
Yeah, really. You didn't watch it on your phone on the go?
That's what I was just gonna say. You mean there was a day you couldn't watch things on your phone?
Yeah. Didn't you just hook it up with Wi-Fi? No, son. Wi-Fi didn't come until later. And then then my beautiful.
Do you remember that noise? Oh. Remember that noise? And you used to have to dial up. Yeah.
And God help you if someone called. If someone called in,
right in the middle
of a download, and those downloads, like the simplest, the smallest little thing. You want to talk about funny? Okay, and this is a little bit further along in years, but I had bought a pair of Oakley sunglasses that had an MP3 player in the glasses. They called them Thumps, and I actually still have them somewhere. And it held. It has the capacity was a whopping 128 megabytes.
I know, yeah. Those were the days.
Those were the days. It held like maybe 30 songs.
Half a song.
Maybe. And it was the best. It was so funny. Oh.
But onto serious stuff.
Serious.
Remember when men were men? Remember when, men used to laugh at themselves?
John Wayne.
Remember those days?
Mm-hmm. Where you could tell a joke and at someone's expense and you didn't have to worry about being labeled hate speech?
Did you see what happened? Because I know you have a segment on the show called the Snowflake of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think the Snowflake of the Week is this week? Because we haven't got to that.
No, we hadn't. I was half segueing into it, and then I can tell you who it is because I'm looking at show prep. No one else knows though, but I can tell you. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me because I haven't looked at the show prep.
Yeah,
I'm flying blind here.
I know. Our Snowflake of the Week is actually none other than Mr. Vlad Putin. Oh, Vlad.
Vladimir?
Yes. Vladimir Putin.
Like you mean the?
Oh,
You mean like the premier of Russia?
Yes. Pooty Poo himself.
Old KGB guy?
Mm-hmm.
Should we not have talked about this? Because he might, you might have an accident. You might just decide to, throw yourself out of a glass building and shoot yourself and put yourself out on the street and then decide, it was suicide.
I might do that. I might put 2 bullets in my head after I fall to my death.
Pick yourself up and then throw yourself through a glass window, fall down a couple of flights, get down a couple of flights and hit the thing and kind of go, poor boy who's feeling suicidal.
And then climb into a car and drive into a tree or something. Yeah, no, I know. I'm not worried about it because technically you're closer to Russia than I am, so I'm not worried about it.
Good point.
That's why I'm going to stay over here. No, we're going to touch on him real fast because we've got an important an important thing we want to get to. But yes, Vladimir Putin is going to be our snowflake of the week. And the reason why, a lot of people would say, well, Dylan, why would you have the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, the man, the legend, Mr. Pooty Poo himself? Why is he the snowflake of the week? And I'm going to tell you why. Because Mr. Mighty Man who fights a bear and walks around in his shirt and plays in 12-degree weather, apparently has set up. There's an image of him. We're going to start this from the beginning. He has banned an image of him as a clown that has turned into a meme. And he has dubbed that extremist propaganda and has banned it in Russia. So the man, Mr. Billy Badass himself, Pooty Poo, who, catches fish with his bare hands, beats the hell out of bears, and rides horses without a shirt on, is whining that people are making pictures of him as a clown. So,
I feel so sad. I don't know why people would do that. That's, I know it's not the same person, but that almost makes me feel as sad as when, our poor ally and our poor friend, and he's just a good guy. Mm-hmm. King Jong-un, banned people from taking pictures of him because he's fat.
Yeah, he is a butterball looking dude. He, But yeah, Mr. Pooty Poo apparently has gone to the extent of.
Can we get a hashtag for that, Pooty Poo?
Hashtag Pooty Poo. I thought I didn't George W. come up with that? Wasn't that the saying? He looked at Pooty Poo's eyes and knew that he was serious. I can't remember. Pooty Poo sounds funny to me. I heard it somewhere and I can't remember where I heard it from, and so I'm going to stick with it. But apparently, El Presidente Pooty Poo has turned around and banned 4,000 other images in Russia, has banned them as extremist propaganda, and they're not allowed to be used either. So,
But remember, folks, Russia is your ally.
Yes, the bastion of freedom and good times. That's all that is. So that we're going to leave it there because it's just sad. It's just sad.
So the moral of the story, the moral of Russia is this. Don't paint a picture. Don't paint pictures of Vladimir Putin as a clown, or as you call him, Pooty Poo.
Pooty Poo.
But inheriting Steven Seagal and his crappy movies is totally fine.
Touche. Oh. Well, now we've done that, and we're going to make time. I'm trying to make special time for this, and we're going to run late, but that's okay. I have it in with the boss. We're okay. Unfortunately, a sad actually thing, and this is actually serious. In case anybody hasn't heard, the probably one of the best comedic people of our day, or I can't say of our day, but of all time, Don Rickles passed away recently. What was it? Was it Monday?
Thursday.
That's what I said. I said Thursday. Yeah. No, Don Rickles, the insult comic himself. Passed away Thursday at the age of 90. He used to pick on everybody. And the best thing that was that and John and I have talked about this earlier in prepping and everything like that. Don Rickles, for whatever side of the aisle he stood, he picked on everybody. You know what I mean? He it didn't matter. He did a show where he roasted Reagan. What was it, 83? Was it 83? Is that what you told me it was? I can't remember.
He did one in the 70s.
70, yeah. He did a couple. It might have been governor. Yeah, it might have been.
And then he did the 85 inauguration.
That's the one I'm thinking of. He roasted Reagan a couple times, and then turned around and did a thing for the DNC at their conference. That's where the whole nostalgia thing that we've kind of gotten into unofficially is, there was a day when you could tell a joke to somebody and you didn't have to worry about hurting somebody's feelings. And unfortunately with him passing, I think that kind of dies with him. You know what I mean? That really, truly, that kind of comedy, that kind of being able to pick on somebody just literally out of fun without any malice or without any hatred, that's gone, I think, officially now. And it's sad. But
I was a big fan. I didn't like everything he did, but you never, when you're a comic, it's impossible to keep everyone happy with all their jokes. But I loved him because he just went after everyone, and I kind of grew up watching some of his skits with when he used to roast Reagan, and like, you ever watch Reagan like that? One of the reasons Reagan I used to love him was you saw some of the stuff, like he said he was dumb. You watch Reagan's reaction; he's laughing his behind off.
Yeah, he was.
I saw him roast, loads of different people. I saw him roast Frank Sinatra. I saw him roast Dean Martin. I saw him roast Sammy Davis Jr., all the old school boys.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't subtle in some of the stuff. He told people they sucked. He told people they were a crap actor. He was just but the one thing I loved about him was he went after everyone. There was no sacred cow.
Yep.
There wasn't a set, I can't say that about them and I'm going to avoid it. He took on everyone, whether you were black, whether you were white, whether you were young, whether you were old, whether you were Jew or whether you were Gentile.
Yep.
And I just miss those days. And I also miss that. I have no doubt if we sat down, I would probably on politics disagree with absolutely I don't see him being a guy, who I'd agree very much on. That's just the impression I always got. I always got the impression, and I could be wrong by this, so I apologize if I am, but I didn't care. He was funny. He was good at what he did. And, when I go to see a comic, I'm not going, I'm going to see you entertain me. But first, before I see you entertain me, I'm going to go, hey, what's your politics? And then, depending on your answer, if I like it or I agree with you or not, I'm going to decide if you're funny or not. I think that's sad in our culture where we can't just go, I see all these things where, like, I watch stuff on TV, I don't get to watch much. But like, do you know that has a liberal message? I'm kind of going, I don't care. It's entertainment. I'm not basing my life on, because like I got told, all this stuff like The Blacklist. I watch The Blacklist when I can, and it's liberal. It's it's full of libs and they don't make the FBI look. I'm like, it's funny, or it's not funny, but it's a decent show. I'm not watching TV to be inform me political. And if you are watching TV, I would say you want to maybe look a bit deeper, and stuff. And I just miss him because he does miss that era. Yeah. And I also remember, I'll never forget one of his funny jokes, which always impressed me, just to show you his sense of humor. And it's a true story. I know. It's okay. I have it in with the boss.
That's
but like, just to give you
keep rolling, dog. Keep rolling.
I hear the boss is all right. No, but like I remember one of the stories he used to always tell, and it was a true story. And I think Frank Sinatra was kind of annoyed at this. He's in he's in the restaurant, and he's with a woman, and he does whatever he does, and all of a sudden he sees Frank Sinatra at a different table, and he's eating. And he comes over to Frank and he's like, hey, how you doing and stuff? And then he goes, hey, look, I'm over with this woman and, I keep telling her we know each other, but she won't believe me. She's like, you don't know Frank Sinatra. And he's like, just come over. And then so he goes, right, I'll come over later on. So he goes back to his table. They get on with their meals. And then, Frank gets up, pays his bill, and he goes over and he goes, Don, how you doing? And he, instead of going, playing it cool or whatever, he goes, listen, Frank, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm having to have dinner here, can you respect my privacy? And it's just, and you can see Frank being a bit annoyed at that because he does tell that story quite a lot. But that's just, just that type of humor.
I remember that one too. But he told that joke on Johnny Carson, man. I remember that. It was...
And do you remember the whole thing where, he was on Johnny Carson's set one time where Johnny Carson wasn't on it and he broke a cigarette box?
No.
And, like, in the middle of... Oh, that's an amazing... I'll send you that skit. YouTube that skit. But basically, Johnny Carson comes back and his famous cigarette box is broken, and he goes, "What the hell happened here?" He's clearly upset. He goes, "Don Rickles was in yesterday because they were recording across the studio, across the hall." And like he gets up from his thing, gets the camera, which by the way, it's not like 2016 where it's portable. They actually follow him in, and there's a confrontation, and it's and it's just hilarious. And I just miss those. I miss those days. I really miss.
It was simpler, man. We didn't have to. You didn't have to worry about. You didn't have to walk on eggshells. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of. And this goes with everything. You have to watch what you say. You can't. You can't call someone by the wrong pronoun because God forbid that you're supposed to know everything about it. You can't call someone the wrong pronoun. You can't say something out of line because then you're going to be labeled something. And it's just I miss the days where you could make a joke, you can talk to somebody and be, there was a point where making fun of stereotypes was funny. You know what I mean? You could pick Chinese people or Asian people can't drive. Ha 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 ha. White people can't jump. Ha 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 ha. There's all these stereotypes, and it used to be funny, and people would laugh it off and go, "Yup, that's true," and laugh at it. And now it's, God forbid you breathe anything like that. And I'm so tired of walking on eggshells. I really am. I don't like it.
But also, we're doing when you look at the psychological thing of things, we're doing so much damage to people to bring this full circle. Mm-hmm. We really are raising, and I hate this term, but, we use it, we really are raising a bunch of snowflakes. Mm-hmm. Like when I was growing up, and this is coming from someone who was bullied unmercifully. And I mean, like, seriously bullied as a child in all my childhood. Mm. It sucks, but you learn to build it up, and you learn to get through it, and especially if it's done in good humor, you just laugh it off and you have fun. And I think we're just doing such a disservice where people say, "Oh, you looked at me the wrong way. You need to apologize. You need to, we need to castrate you in public. We need to, write articles. We need to get all social media on you." And it's like, look. He was a jerk. He was wrong, but just grow up, move on. Yeah. Don't give them headspace. That's what we used to be told as a kid. If something. No, but we also got told, as a young age was, if you're worried about someone saying something to you, this used to be, where people would say, you'd come to me and say I was fat. Mm-hmm. You've probably forgotten about it, but yeah, I'm still hanging over it. And it's like, the worst thing that has happened to you is not that you were called fat. It's the fact that person has moved on with their lives and they're still in your headspace. Mm-hmm.
You've let them control your emotion in your life, and you're right. And I mean, it's things have changed, and I don't like it. Can we go back? Can we go
back to the 80s?
Can we go back to the 80s?
Just let's keep Netflix and the internet.
There you go. Wi-Fi and everything else, and just go back to the 80s. I look good in parachute pants and a flock of seagull haircut.
And since we're reminiscing, let's just have one last reminiscent talk before we wrap up for the night. Imagine going back to the 80s. Imagine having Reagan as president.
I'll play some of his speeches sometimes just because.
I play all of his speeches and I play his jokes.
He was funny, man.
He really was. And he just had all those lines, Yeah, I tell the joke. I tell the jokes over here, and people even laugh at Reagan's jokes, even though they don't like Reagan.
It's because they don't know it's Reagan.
Yeah, and since we brought up Reagan, I think it's apt we bring up a joke of Ronald Reagan. Do you know what the difference between an American dog, a Polish dog, and a Russian dog is?
No, I don't know this one.
No, you don't know that one? It's one of his famous ones. What's the difference? Well, the American dog. He decides what he wants, and he barks. And if he barks long enough, someone will throw him a piece of meat and he'll shut up. The Polish dog says, "What's meat?" The Russian dog said, "What's bark?" And the other thing I love, and we could do this all night, I just loved his stories because he made the thing. We talked earlier on about shows making a political point or, making a moral to the story. The one thing I loved about, and no one ever gives him credit, I don't think, enough of how he really painted the Soviet Empire, but, did it through jokes. Like, I'll never forget the joke where the family saves up and they save up all the money where back in a time where, cars weren't popular.
Yeah.
And you had to like pay up in full. There wasn't like, hey, I'll go get a car loan and, pay a deposit and I'll pay it off over 10 years. You had to pay it in full. And there's a 10-year waiting list. And he tells the story about his family went to, saying how they had a sense of humor. And he's like, the family saved up all this money to get a car and they were all excited and they go to the dealership. And, they sign all the papers. They have to go through all the background checks and they pay up all the full amount of money. And at the end of the day, the car salesman goes, okay, you've just bought this car, come back in 10 years and you'll have it. And the man says to him, in the morning or the afternoon. And he goes, sir, 10 years and then wait, what difference does it make? And he says, well, the plumber's coming in the morning. So, and like it was stories like that really broke through the Soviet curtain. And they were funny and he delivered them a lot better than I could, but those were the good old days.
Good old days, man.
And I just miss those days.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna miss, and I don't know. We keep saying we're gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna touch on this, and then we'll actually kick rocks. I know. You know what I really truly miss, and it's not even so much that it was simpler back. And it wasn't, and we have touched on it. We've been beating around the circle though, with the joking thing. It's the. I miss how people looked at people as people. Yeah. That's what it was. There was a level of respect. Even if people didn't like other people, there was still a level of respect that people maintained. Yeah. People cared about each other, even to the a light extent. There was this, you looked at another human being as a human being, not as a statistic, not as a label, not as anything else. That was a human being. Yeah. And people cared, even if you were staunchly different, even, gay or straight, black or white, rich or poor, didn't matter. You were all human beings. Period. On the same planet, trying to live and achieve the same goals in one weird way or another. And I miss that. That's what I really miss. I miss the fact that you could, be in a place with someone else of completely different background and everything, and get along.
And we used to make fun of our political opponents, but it was never mean spirit. Like, do you remember the old story Reagan used to tell about the Republican canvassing in a traditional rural Democratic area?
Oh, I think I have heard this one.
I'll tell you this story just and then we really got to go because it's 4 a.m. here where I am. I got to go to sleep.
Yeah, you got to get some sleep.
There's a young Republican candidate and it's his first time running and he runs everywhere and he's running in this really, rural Democratic area and he goes out to this farm and there's a farmer out and he introduces himself and he says who he is, and he says, okay, and what party are you canvassing for? He says, I'm canvassing for the Republican Party, sir, and his draw jobs. And he kind of goes...
His draw jobs?
Jaw.
Yeah, you said draw.
Okay,
you said draw drops. Yeah, you said draw. I speak
funny. I don't know. It's the whole accent thing. You're ruining the joke.
No, it's not. It's 4 a.m. I'm sorry. His jaw drops.
Yeah, his jaw drops. Mm-hmm. I speak funny. I'm fully aware of this. I speak different. This is not news to anybody.
This was you're tired. This is not speaking funny. Go ahead. His jaw drops.
So, because he's never seen a Republican before, and he says, "You just hold on there, son. I'm gonna go get Ma." So he goes off and he gets his Ma. So while he's waiting, he gets a piece of straw and a bit of fertilizer. Mm-hmm. And he gets up on it and he gives his speech. He tells them what he's for, what he's against, what he's running on. And he comes up at the end and he says, "Do you have any questions?" And the mother says, that's the first time I've ever heard a Republican speak. In all these years I'm living in this country, it's the first Republican I've ever heard speak. And he said, "Don't worry, don't feel bad, ma'am. It's okay. It's the first time I've ever given a Republican speech from a Democratic platform." But it's those type of things you miss. And I'll just leave you with this. I know I've said this 3 times already.
I know. But good thing we know the boss.
I know, exactly. But it's who he was. And I miss this. And I remember, like, one of the best lines I have ever heard. Like, you really know you in a political campaign, when you use a political line to diffuse an attack and your opponent ends up laughing, you know you've hit a home run.
Yep.
I remember the second run for when he was running for his second term. Mm-hmm. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's old. He's can't do it. He's tired. He's weak. He can't do it." And like, you know, how do you respond to that? Well, how did he respond? Everyone should take a lesson from Reagan. Don't be angry, don't be bitter, but make a story of it. Mm-hmm. And what was his response when he was asked about being old? Are you too old to run? And his response was, listen, I want to assure the voters' fears and I want to put everyone at bay. I am not going to make my opponent's youth and inexperience a message of this campaign. And you see the video go to Mondale and he's breaking his heart laughing. It diffused an attack. You don't have to get bitter. You don't have to get personal. You don't have to, you know, I'm going to unleash a Twitter storm. How dare you ask this question? No, just defuse it. He was the one who did it best. And I miss that.
Yeah.
You know,
I miss them days too, man. Well, we're going to have to wrap this up because I know we know the boss and we have an end, but I'm pretty sure he might get a little ill about this one. So, folks, we really thank you and appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. John, thank you for doing this with me, buddy. I really appreciate it. We're going to do this again soon. Folks, y'all are listening to... Yes. We are listening to Defenders of American Exceptionalism on the Lanterns Radio Network. Y'all have a good night, and we will see y'all in 2 weeks. We're going to take a break because of Easter, and y'all better take a break too. So, y'all have a good night. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.